I'm saying? I'm from West Side, Campanella Park, PIRU, been, doing this here type of lifestyle since I was about 13 years old, and been through the penitentiary systems, all the little juvenile system, 5 years, 6 years in the state, and I'm just gonna kick a little something. Everybody wanna know why people bang, why people kill, why people do this, sell dope, and you can't just look at the individuals because, you have to look at the environment that they set in that creates these conditions for them to have to live and do the things that they do. And so we just kicking it like that. We ain't out here essing on our chest, but, it's like everybody out here want to be a tough guy killer.
Big Jake from Campanella Park, PIRU. Suge Knight's #1 enforcer before he passed away, and Bunchy would take over. Now, Big Jake was a well-respected dude, well-loved, and feared at the same time. He was a big old youngster. I think he was 24 years old when he passed away. He had looked mature, and he was strong, and he was very much a real down PIRU. And Suge Knight always wanted him by his side. Now, Big Jake's death was actually the first murder that set off the real beef between Suge and Puffy. Some people would say even his death is the reason why Biggie would get killed in LA, as Big Jake's murder wasn't avenged and nobody was retaliated on. But Big Jake's story and his murder is very important to the whole East Coast, West Coast feud, but more so Suge and Puff. And Suge's whole bitterness towards Puffy was behind the murder of Big Jake. He had just came home from prison after doing 7 years straight. A big old youngster, but he was strong, and Suge always wanted him by his side. He was a much larger-than-life character and was always ambitious about doing things in the music industry before his life was cut short. But he wasn't always just a real stomp-down PIRU. He wouldn't always tell the youngsters in his neighborhood to bang. He would actually tell them to go to school. As his Slick, one of his young homies from Campanella Park, PIRU, would explain,
I never was around Death Row, homie. I sold T-shirts. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of motherfuckers that was...
And you sold them goddamn Christmas trees.
Yeah. Big Jake used to take me to school. He used to watch me ditching me and the homies. That's when we went to Thurgood Marshall right there on McKinley. Big Jake, they used to pass by and put us in the car. We think we finna roll with him. He'd take us right back to the school. Like, we just left this motherfucker. Yeah.
Hey, me and Big Jake was in Jamestown together, man. Good dude.
Yeah, but
Big Jake, man.
This what I know about Big Jake, man. He was a big old boy, big old young man, and he had some nice size, but he had a head on his shoulder. He was with him, and still a lot of people ain't looking at the big picture. Don't worry about me. Stop speaking on me. Listen to this. When Jake went out of town with this dude, Jake was already getting his money. What I said I should have did to Suge, Jake was getting his money, but in the right way. I'm not doing this for free. And he wanted his money. And he wanted to get paid. Now, he goes out of town by himself with this dude and get into an altercation. Now, this is me. Why the fuck he didn't come back and Suge came back?
Now, Big Jake was an OG PIRU who earned his respect in the streets long before he began dabbling in the music industry. Big Jake was popular for his tendency and his viciousness in the streets and weed spots in the hood. After a few years in prison, Jake wanted to go legit. Big Jake was managing a little rap group called Compton's Righteous. It would actually be when he was managing DJ Quick and his little rap crew, Second and None. That's when Suge Knight would take notice of Big Jake. That's when Suge Knight would recruit Big Jake up under his wing and would be his #1 enforcer and his security guard. It would be a tragic night on November in '95 in Atlanta when he would accompany Suge Knight to a party hosted by Jermaine Dupri, which led on to another party, and that's when Big Jake would lose his life. There'll be a lot of confusion as to what happened, but it was people directly there. Matter of fact, the club owner at the same club where Big Jake would lose his life outside of would actually speak out and explain exactly what went down. This club owner is the very same club owner of the Atlanta club where Big Jake was seen going back and forth with Puffy's bodyguard Wolf, and when Suge and Puffy was also present.
Jermaine Dupri was having a party somewhere else, and I decided to have a private set that music people could know, like, okay, come over here and we're gonna get down over here.
Hey, oh yeah, I got it. P. Diddy was there, other celebrities and stuff. Suge pulled up, and it was just him and Jake. Suge had him around to protect him. Suge came to me that night, going around the party, what he used to do with the cigar and just kind of like, you know, be the big guy in the room, you know? Suge and Puff got into a screaming match, and it looked like it was getting serious. It was always like something between them.
Puff's homeboys was real street niggas. And Puff homeboys was also very into protecting him.
I knew Wolf to be Puff's right-hand man, that if anything jump off, he's going to be there, and he's going to defend it.
I heard a bunch of commotion and people running and screaming and whatnot.
I got a call about 2 in the morning saying that he had gotten shot. And, I need to get out there.
By the time he did pass away, the word was going around in Atlanta that, he was an OG blood and that he was like real gangster-like type mother.
Got killed, Death Row already came in banging. Now Bad Boy, by them hiring Southside Crips, they were starting to bang too now.
Now you've uncorked the genie and shit starts to pop off right away. A dude from Death Row is jumped by Crips and try to take his Death Row chain.
It's not the music.
Now, many Bloods and PIRUs was upset behind the murder of Big Jake. They couldn't understand how Big Jake would get killed out of town, but Suge Knight would come home. Now, Suge Knight actually showed up to the funeral of Big Jake, where somebody named Spud, OG, from Big Jake's neighborhood, actually confronted Suge Knight with a .357 pistol. And he confronted Suge and he was pressing Suge. Allegedly, Suge was scared to come out the car. Now, Slick, who is Big Jake's homie from Campanella Park, PIRU, actually explains how Suge Knight was really scared, sweating, and he showed up to the funeral for 5 minutes and he ran back out.
Yeah, Big Jake was the big homie, man, but the way he went out, it's a conspiracy. I remember, it's a true story, when we had Big Jake funeral on 148 in April, the church right there on the corner. Suge did not get out that car because Spud had a .357 asking him questions. Spud, rest in peace. Spud had that .357 on him asking him questions about the homie, and Suge was in that car sweating like a motherfucker, but Spud let him go, you know what I'm saying, in the funeral home, man. When he got out, man, he went in there and he wasn't in there 5 minutes because Spud was on his ass. That's a true story. We was all around that car that day. You know what I'm saying?
I can understand that people would be emotional, upset, not knowing what happened to their homie, out of town. That would definitely make you feel some type of way, Yo, Slick, did you learn your ABCs? Or are you still on your ABDs?
I told them.
Now, more Bloods would speak about the death of Big Jake and exactly what went down. One particular Blood broke down exactly how Big Jake passed away.
They was in Atlanta. It was after some show. You know what I'm saying? Suge, and he always keep niggas that can fight with him. Big Jake can fight on Blood. That nigga Jake had hands. He had already ran and jumped his ass in the limousine. You feel me? Jake saw the niggas running up, so Jake turned around and was like, "What's happening, Blood?" And go head up. That's what Jake thought. So when he had the dude, his partner, the other dude, the burner, then he whips out another burner. So by that time, Jake saw, these niggas ain't trying to fight. So that's when Jake, tried to turn around and, jump in the limo. But by that time, it was kind of too late. And both of them niggas just, bow, 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 bow.
Now, a lot of people would have thought that Big Jake was killed by Wolf, who was Puffy's bodyguard, who himself was actually unalive. But that wasn't the case, as Big Jake's murder was revealed to be somebody totally different, who was actually there that night. And the killers actually themselves, they got killed like a week or so later.
Before the four dudes, I can finish with them like, damn, man, as soon as we meet y'all, this nigga's dying. Yeah, shut up, Ush.
When they accuse Wolf of Big Jake murder, that's not true.
No. Nope. Wolf, I could tell you. Wolf is a good guy, man. He ain't had shit to do with that shit. No. What happened was, them studio gangsters ran across real gangsters. They ran across that original rude boy. We knew it. It was like, ooh. The whole club was like, ooh, shut him down.
So yeah, because you know what people didn't understand is at the time, Puff kept some real thorough people around him. You understand? That's what made Puff the powerful person Puff was. But since this is the greatest show on earth, G, let him know.
Puff is the greatest gangster New York ever seen. He had the greatest run in the history of gangsters. Frank Lucas, all of them, they were 5 years, 6 year term, plus 30 years. It was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. And particularly Jake. Because those guys ended up getting killed anyway. Yeah. They was real bank robbers and real drug dealers, real criminals. They didn't watch television.
No.
One of them got killed in Magic.
The one who did the shooting, when he came out, the one who actually shot Jake, he got killed at Magic City.
Mm-hmm.
What was that? Who did the shooting? When he came out, the one who actually shot Jake, he got killed at Magic City.
Mm-hmm.
What was that, like a week or so later?
So that's what happened to Big Jake, man. Rest in peace. As y'all know, his murder was the most important murder, as it actually was the beef that started the hatred between Suge and Puff. People would say Biggie's murder was specifically in retaliation for the murder of Big Jake, as his murder was not retaliated on, as Suge held Puffy's people responsible for that situation. So some people would connect those two murders together, Big Jake and Biggie. And as solid as he was, he always had a strong head on his shoulders, as Mob James would say. And he actually had a totally different outlook on life after he was coming from prison and actually wanted to do something positive.
Jamestown, Solano, Vacaville, on tour. So as far as all the negatives I've seen, now in my life at this point, I'm making a transition to do positive things and to try to alleviate a lot of the bullshit that's going on out here in the streets with these youngsters that ain't knowing. They don't know that these white folks got a place for them for the rest of their life. They might not never even see their neighbor and be in the penitentiary 5-10 years and never even see the person next to them in the next cell, because they got places for them with these drive-bys, automatic weapons, everything that's going on out here, the dope. They want to give us all day for catching 2 or 3 ounces hard, and you know what I'm saying, they catch John DeLorean with 100 keys and a camera, give him a smack on the hand so you see what's going on. So you got the peep game and just stay above water. You know what I'm saying?
Again, I'd like to thank y'all for watching, tuning in. Make sure y'all don't forget to likes, hit the notification bell, and make sure y'all don't forget to drop a comment for those that knew Big Jake. And let me know y'all thoughts about Big Jake for those that knew him. Peace, y'all.
That's right. Check me out. ABC, simple as can be. Mr. Quick and V, 92.3. Now 96 comes in the zero skill flow. Commas, decimals, you know how it goes. I'm the biggest baller, the 20. My homie Suge, to the good. Black Joe, we strong. It's Mr. Quick, Yanzelli, and High C. And the CBT, cause Compton, put gangster rap on the map. I do this drop in the memory of my friend. Mr. Jai Hassan Jamal Rowe was born to win. And Campanella Park has never seen a truest EPTG like Big Jake. Oh yes, I miss him, can you feel?